When we went to the neighbour's house for a little meeting, just to explain how they do things in this area, I still remember, even though it was around 2 years ago, the lady said to me, be prepared to attend a lot of funerals. One of the sad facts of living in a rural community in Japan is that there is quite a high elderly population. As I said, we have lived in this area nearly 2 years and we have already attended 3 funerals. I was quite clueless when it came to funeral etiquette in Japan, and we've kind of had to learn as we've gone along. Also, just because they do things like this in this area, it doesn't mean that it's the same across Japan. But I just thought I would share it just to give people a good idea of how to deal with these kind of situations. As sad as it sounds, I think it's really important to buy a funeral outfit as soon as you can, because we had a panic when we got the message that someone passed away. We went to the shop and we just didn't know what we were doing. The first ceremony will be at the neighbour's house. As much as the neighbour did try to guide us, they didn't tell us that the deceased body would be at the house, which was a bit of a shock for us, but I guess where it's quite normal for them, they forgot to mention it. Also, if you've never even met the person, you're still expected to go and attend the ceremonies. At this first ceremony, they will explain a bit about the person's life and also how it came to an end. You will have to perform a ritual at this ceremony, and basically we've always just looked around to see what everyone else is doing. If you go to one ceremony, it doesn't necessarily mean if you go to another ceremony it will be exactly the same, but in general the deceased body will be covered with a white sheet and they will uncover the face, and then all the neighbours will queue up to perform a ritual. The first thing you will need to do is bow towards the deceased person and also towards the family. Now this ritual varies, but basically the first ceremony that we went to, there was 2 boxes and you have to pick up some rice, put it almost near your forehead and then put it in the other box. And then the other ceremony we went to, you had to pick up little granules of incense, put it towards your forehead and then put it in a burner. And then the other ceremony, they had the incense sticks, so you just light them and then you put them in a bowl. So each ritual is quite different, so it's really important to observe what the people in front of you are doing. At this ceremony, you're allowed to wear casual clothes, but they prefer dark colours, and they do provide tea and snacks and things like that. The next ceremony, which again you're allowed to wear casual clothes for, is when the deceased body leaves the house. They will place the coffin inside the car and everyone needs to bow, and as the car drives off, for some reason they press their horn. As the car leaves, you do need to keep bowing. After this, there are 2 more ceremonies, but you can choose to go to either one. I guess if you were really close to that person, you could attend all of them. In our terms and conditions for living in this area, it does stipulate that you have to give 2,000 yen at a funeral. Of course, this can vary from area to area, but you should have it written in your terms and conditions. There is a specific envelope that you need to use to put the money in. This is for a neighbour's funeral, so if it was someone in your family or someone like that, as far as I understand, you're not supposed to use this envelope. But if it was someone that you're not that close to, from my understanding, this is what you use. You can get these at any supermarket or any convenience store. On the front here, you will need to write your name downwards, and then on the back, you write how much is in there and your address. Now, I didn't know about this, it's only recently that I found out, but you're not allowed to write your name in a black pen, it has to be grey. So I've just had a look into why this is, and it says using grey ink suggests that the writer was so shocked and saddened by the death that they quickly wrote the name without preparing proper dark ink. In olden times, people used brushing, and lighter ink implied tears mixing with the ink diluted in haste, a feeling of mourning and emotional shock. Writing with dark, crisp black ink could symbolically suggest that you were well prepared for the death, which is considered inappropriate. Actually, I do need to go and get one of those grey pens because I don't have one at the moment. Also, when you place the money in the envelope, so it's just a folded piece of paper, and apparently when they open up the envelope, the person's face should be facing upwards. In return for the 2,000 yen, we usually get a gift, and it is normally tea, or sometimes it's also seaweed. And also just make sure that the note hasn't got any rips or too many folds in it. It should be a nice note. I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about what you're expected to wear at the funerals. I got my one from Aoki, you can see it hanging here. So it's just a normal black dress, quite long and a little jacket to go over it, but the staff in Alki were really helpful. And these were the shoes that I bought. They're just normal black shoes with a bit of a heel on. Now this is my bag, which is quite big. At the time my daughter was still little and I had to carry nappies and things around like that. I don't need them anymore, but that's why I had to choose such a big bag. Also, I did buy black tights. I've got thick ones for the winter and thinner ones for the summer. For men, they have to wear a black suit, a white shirt and a black tie. With children, they're not too strict about children, but we still put our daughter in a black dress, black tights and black shoes. This is Alki and they do have stores nationwide. They do have clothes for funerals, but they also have work clothes. Here are some dresses that are appropriate for funerals. Ideally, you should get one that you can wear in the summer and the winter so that you don't have to buy two outfits. People wear pearl jewellery, which I don't have, so I just take off my normal jewellery and go quite plain. For the whole outfit, that is a dress, tights, bag and shoes, it cost about £120. When you attend funerals, people will be reading out eulogies, and also there is a word that I picked up last time I went, and that is gasho. And when you hear this word, you basically have to put your hands together and pray, and then they will tell you when you can lift your head up. It is quite an important word to listen out for, but you'll see everyone around you doing it anyway. At the end of the funeral, there'll be that ritual again where you have to either pick up the rice, put it near your forehead, or an incense one. I'm just reading about it and it says this ritual is called shoko. The gesture comes from traditions in Buddhism which influences most Japanese funerals. Lifting the incense to the forehead symbolizes several things: respect and reverence, purification of the mind, and prayer for the deceased. It does say here that the number of pinches can vary. It's between 1 and 3 times, and I've seen it varying. At some funerals, they have given us sachets of salt because it's believed that this will purify the body before going into your own house. I would say that if this is very important to you, just leave some salt at the front door. That's what I did last time, because they don't always give you these sachets of salt. One of the more stranger things I found, and this is if you go to a funeral of someone that is close to you, you get one of these in the post afterwards, and it's like a gift catalogue. And it's just basically the person wants to show their gratitude for you coming to the funeral and things like that. So you can choose, you can choose a watch. There's all sorts of gifts in here that you can choose from. We didn't feel comfortable choosing anything because it feels like we wanted to do it, but it's just so, for me, it was really strange. There's barbecues, there's cooking pots, there's just all sorts of things, and that's actually quite a pretty clock, but those are actually religious beads there. So it's for me, it was just really strange. If you do attend a funeral of someone in your family or someone you know, it's completely different. I can't really talk about it yet because I'm still upset about some things, but every time I get these clothes out, I just always really hope it's the last time. The last funeral that we went to was really heartbreaking, and it is a really difficult thing for me to get used to when you go to funerals of people that you've never met. Of course, in the UK, this would be a completely strange thing. We are getting used to it, but I really don't want to get used to it. I really don't want to go to any more now. I hope that the next video will be on a bit of a happier topic, but as always, thank you for watching. Sayonara.